Well, it's arguably the biggest game of the season to this point for your Seattle Seahawks as they take to the road and face off against their division rival, the L.A. Rams. And we get a chance to speak to a man in our Seahawks Player Spotlight, brought to you by Three Tree Roofing, that he was missed when he was out, which is a huge compliment for a young guy making his way through this league. He is Robbie Ouzts. Robbie, how are you, man?
Great. How are you doing, sir?
We're doing great. We appreciate you taking the time. And that's got to be kind of cool. I'm sure you heard it, but when you were out, there were a lot of people going, man, you know, we're talking about the run game and why isn't it more impactful, this, that. And they're like, wait till Ouzts gets back. When he gets back, that's going to change things up. And it just, for a rookie, that's got to be kind of cool to hear, right?
Yeah, that means a lot. And, you know, it helped as well going through the rehab process, having everybody checking on me and, you know, kind of talking to me every day. So, yeah, it was a big part of it.
Well, Robbie, you had probably one of the more exciting plays I've seen. I almost jumped out of the booth when you got that twofer in Pittsburgh where your block knocks down two linebackers. I felt really bad for him because I was a linebacker. But, man, that was –
He didn't. He's lying.
Those are two really good linebackers. How'd that feel? And then what kind of a response did you get from, you know, friends and everything? Because that clip was got pretty famous there for a while.
Yeah, that was a great moment, kind of my first real highlight in the league. In the moment, I went and I knew I got the first guy. I really didn't even see the second backer come across the top until I went back and watched it on film, and I was like, holy crap, there was a second guy in there. And then I got back to the locker room, and everybody was blowing up my phone. So a great moment.
Nice.
Yeah, you knew what it was like to be a bowling ball and knocking down pins right there. That's pretty cool. Hey,
yes, sir.
How much fullback did you play in college, if at all?
Not much at all. I played a little bit freshman year with Bill O'Brien at OC, but ever since then, not much.
So is that what kind of adjustment is that to learn that position? I mean, obviously you're a tight end, you know what it is to run routes and catch passes, but to be that lead blocker, is it a huge adjustment or is it pretty seamless?
Yeah, it's a bigger adjustment than you would think it would be. Just going from being on the line of scrimmage and kind of square base, kind of fighting with guys with your hands to, you know, essentially reading what the running back sees every play and being able to step with your power foot and run through contact. It's been a tough transition, but I feel like I'm handling it very well, and big thanks to Coach KP for helping me through it all.
Yeah, hey Robbie, we hear a lot about Coach KP. He does a really good job. But tell us about one of the things I heard from Helani was that he had not run behind a fullback before. You know, it's kind of an old school, and I hear you're an old school guy, and we'll get to that. But as far as the run game goes, you don't see very many fullbacks. So, you know, are the running backs? You know, what's sort of the kind of feedback are you getting from those guys running behind you?
Yeah, I mean, they love it. They love working with me, and like you said, it's kind of a new thing for all of us in that room. But fortunately, Coach KP has a lot of experience playing with fullbacks and playing with running backs who were behind fullbacks. So he's got a lot of tape and a lot of knowledge, and we just try to soak it all up.
Is it more appealing to go out there and dish out the punishment as a fullback than be the tight end who's trying to avoid the punishment?
Definitely. I think for me and my mentality, yes, 100%.
Hey, so Robbie, I mentioned that I heard from Jalen Milroe that you're kind of old school, and his example was that he said he has a button on his phone, but I look down and I have a button on my phone, but I'm old. But tell us about that you're kind of a throwback. It sounds like.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Simple as that.
All right.
So when you were coming up, were you a fan of any particular team or player that you tried to model your game after?
Yeah, Greg Olson. Growing up in Carolina, Greg Olson I was a big fan of his, and obviously Luke Kuechly there for a while. But you know, growing up watching those guys and just dreaming of one day getting my chance in this league, and here we are. It's a dream come true.
How about this week? And this is a big time type of play. You're used to that though. I mean, you played at Alabama. We always talk about that's like playing pro football essentially. But this week, this is a big one. Are you feeling it, or is it just one of those? You know, just another week of preparation?
Yeah, it's hard not to feel it. I mean, going against a top contender, especially a rival like this, but just kind of having the focus that the next game is the most important game. But I'd say a big takeaway for this week is we kind of get to see who we are as a football team and fix some things for later down the road when we're playing big games every week, so.
My co-host here played in the league almost a decade, and he talked about how by the end of the week of watching film and preparing for a team, no matter their record, by the end of the week they look like they could be a Super Bowl champion. Is that when you look at this Rams team? I mean, they are a good team as it is anyway. But what do they do? What is it you look at and go, man, we can't let this team do this, or we're going to have a problem?
Yeah, well, for me especially, they have a great front seven. I've been watching them a lot. Very disruptive, very upfield. And an athletic linebacking core that kind of reacts to whatever the D-line does and soaks up the gaps and stuff. So just kind of handling that front seven, keeping them at bay, and getting that run game going.
Robbie, tell us about Sam Darnold. One of the words to me is unaffected, unflappable. I mean, it seems like something bad happens, he just moves on, to the next play. And just tell us about his leadership and what you've seen from him.
Yeah, he's been awesome through this process. He's, like you said, very cool, confident, composed. He's just got that veteran stature, and you can go ask him about anything. He's got experience. Very patient, but at the same time, very electric. A great playmaker. It's been an honor to work with him.
Was there anybody you leaned on beyond the coaching staff, obviously, to learn this position? Any players that you checked in with, maybe running backs even, just to talk about how to approach fullback?
Yeah, I've trained with Lee Smith, longtime tight end, and he had Patrick DeMarco, veteran fullback, working with him, and I got to work with him a little bit and get some insight. And a couple weeks into the season, I hit him with the text, asking him some questions, and got some good knowledge from him. So he's been a good resource.
Hey, Robbie, heard yesterday that Mike McDonald played some clips of the Nate Landman, the inside backer who's trying to punch the ball out, and he's good at it. How do you protect against that as a running back? I know you haven't carried the ball yet, but still, I mean, what are some of the techniques that running backs can employ to nullify that?
Really just keeping that thing tucked away at all times. I mean, you got to know they have a guy like that out there who, whenever you're off balance or in an awkward position, he's going to try to take advantage of it and get that ball off you. So just keeping the ball as the main priority throughout the process of the play, and handing the ball to the ref at the end of every single play, and then we do that, we'll get our job done.
How comfortable is this offense for you at this point? I mean, as a rookie, you're coming in, your head's probably swimming. Unfortunately, you get injured, so maybe you have to play a little catch-up. But do you feel at this point that the offense is second nature, or do you feel like you're still learning things?
Yeah, we're getting there. Obviously, still learning things every single day. I mean, this whole thing's an ongoing process, and I'm sure there's more ups and downs to come this season. But yeah, we're at a very good point in my confidence level and knowing the offense, and excited for the future.
Saw on a show last night that Gray Zabel was mic'd up, and it sounds like he talks a fair amount out on the field for a young guy. Are you guys at this point, though, Robbie, where you're like, okay, we're not really rookies anymore, right? I mean, you're halfway through, and you've kind of made that adjustment. You agree?
Yeah. I definitely agree, and if you still have that mindset that you're a rookie, you're going to get picked on. So you got to grow up quick in this league.
Yeah.
Hey, Robbie, last one before we let you go, and this is just to prove a point here with something my co-host as a veteran NFL player has talked about. Do you know who your next game is? Not the Rams. Who do you play after that?
Doesn't matter. Just worried about this weekend.
There we go. He is old school. That's exactly right.
Robbie, it's a pleasure to talk to you, man. Welcome back. Good to see you back out there on the field. We wish you nothing but the best, and hopefully we get a chance to catch up with you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.